This pleated skirt was inspired by the dress I made for Rebecca in the style of. I'll make sure to leave a link below so you guys can go check that out. But I needed the following materials to make this skirt. So I got the original Ankara print as well as this yellow faux leather or pleather material that I used in my blazer tutorial, and I thought the two colors just went very well together because the black and white is a very good contrast in comparison with the yellow. I also got some black lining because it's really cold in London. I just wanted to add extra warmth. So they are all about a meter each, roughly. I also got short zip, which I changed to a longer one later on in the video. You need to take the following measurements to be able to make the skirt. You need to measure around your waist and decide on how long you want the skirt to be. So this is a tiny illustration I've done just to explain how I did the calculation for the pleats. So ideally you multiply your waist measurements by 2 and add 6 inches for the seam and zip allowance, and the length is what you see on here. So this is the length of the skirt I've decided, and I've cut roughly times 2 of my waist measurements for about 6 inches, which you would understand why I added it later on. I did that for the Ankara print as well as the pleather, but I cut the lining about 4 inches shorter than the main material. I also cut some waistband, which is 50 inches by 8, and I wanted this longer because I want to be able to tie the skirt at the back. So the next thing you need to do is to divide the material into 8 pieces. So just fold it into half, cut, fold that into half, cut again. That's what I did, and because Ankara is cutting, I just ripped it right through, but you could also take precise measurements and cut accordingly if you want to be really careful. So I've ended up with my pieces here. I decided to work with 6 because I didn't want 8 pleats around my waist. I just thought it was too much, so I threw away 2 and just decided to work with 6. So you're going to alternate the panels. So you take one panel of pleather, one panel of Ankara, and continue like that. So you join them alternatively. So what you do is join one side of Ankara to one side of pleather, and then you join Ankara to the pleather side, and so on and so forth. So this is what it looks like. I know my explanation doesn't really make sense, but once you see this finished piece, you sort of know how you're supposed to alternate the panels in such a way that it's one after the other, right, like different ones right next to each other. So this is what the seams look like at this point, but I want to overlock all the seams so it's nice and neat inside of the skirt. So I'm going to overlock all 6 or 12 seams, however many you decide to create, and after that is all done, it's time to make the pleats. So this method is really cool because all you have to do basically is fold the yellow panel in and leave the Ankara panels out. So you don't have to like think about how much you need to fold in. The color variation and the difference in fabric would guide you. So all you do is you fold it in and overlap one side slightly over the other, so it's a little bit closed on top, and as it goes towards the bottom you see the yellow pleather peeking through. So this is another illustration just showing you what I mean. So you fold it like this on one side and fold the other side to overlap the first side slightly and secure the pleat with a pin. So just go ahead and repeat the same process to the other panels. I had about 6 of each, so I'm just going to go ahead and fold in my yellow panels and revealing the Ankara ones outside because that's what I'm going for, and securing it on with a pin so it doesn't unravel while I move the skirt around. These are all my pleats done and nicely arranged, and I'm just double checking the waist measurements to be sure that it still actually fits me. My waist is about 30, so at this point it was slightly too big, and you can take in any excess measurements by just overlapping those pleats a little bit more and double checking again with your tape. So once that is all done, I'm going to go ahead and pin on my waistband, and I've already pressed it in half so it looks like this, and it's just nice and neat when it's pressed in half because I don't have to think about pressing it after the skirt is done. So I'm going to go ahead and find the middle point of this waistband, as well as find the middle point of the skirt, because that would be a nice way to match up both middle point of waistband and skirt. So once I found the middle point of the skirt, I'm just going to go and mark it quickly with the tailor's chalk, and I've already marked the one for the waistband, just double marking it again so I'm sure of what I'm doing before going ahead to pin both middle points together. Because once you pin them together, you just know once you pin everything else along either the left or the right hand side is equal on either side of the skirt. So once that is done, I'm going to work on my lining, and I'm going to pin the lining in such a way that it correlates with the pleats of the skirt. So I'm going to find the middle point of the lining like I did with the skirt earlier on, and join it to the middle point of the waistband and the skirt, because I want to sew everything in one stitch. Then I'm going to match the center back of the lining to the center back of the skirt. Do that for the left and the right hand side. And with this excess lining that we have in the middle, we're going to pleat it into the waistline of the skirt, because you want the lining to have room for you to be able to move in it. So the width of the pleat is about 4 inches, and you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, however you desire, but I decided to work with something that is fairly big or neither small. Does not make any sense, but you get what I mean. So after I'm done pleating in the lining into the skirt, this is what it looks like, and it actually looks really cool already. So I'm just going ahead to pin in my last pleat and double check that the waist measurement is still correct and correlates with my body. So this is what it looks like right now. All the pleats look really lovely. I didn't even have to press them down. As long as the pins were in place, I was sure that when I take it to my machine that everything would still be in order before I stitch. I'm going to take this to my domestic machine and sew on a 1 centimeter seam allowance, joining all 3 layers together at once, because when you fold it over, the lining is going to automatically cover up that seam that is supposed to be showing around the waist, and it just looks really nice and neat at this point right now. So the next thing we need to consider is how we're going to finish up those extended straps that we're going to use to tie up the skirt. I decided to fold that little edge in by 1 centimeter on the top and the bottom layer, hold it down with a pin before taking it onto my machine to sew. So I'm just going to nicely fold both top and bottom layer in by 1 centimeter all the way around to even that shorter edge that you can see here, and hold them down with a pin before stitching it down along the edge. Just looks nice and neat, and you can barely even see the stitch around the straps. So I did that for the right and the left hand side of the skirt before going ahead to think about my zip. So I decided to change my black zip because I just thought it would look nicer with the black lining, and I've marked where I want my zip to end, but we're going to sew from this point to the hem of the skirt. Now it is time to fix the zip. So I've pinned the main skirt onto the lining so none of them just misbehave or move around, and I'm going to pin in my zip. I decided to take in more than 1 centimeter because when I tried on the skirt before I did this whole process here, it was still a little bit loose around my waist, so I took in more using the zip through here. So I'm going to sew on my zip using my zip footer on my domestic machine. On your body it might be different. If you do more precise calculations, you might not have to take in more from the waist, but as you can see, I took in roughly about 2.5 centimeters from the center back seam because I wanted this part of the skirt to be more fitted on me. So the zip is looking really lovely already. I'm happy with the way it came out, and once I'm pleased and satisfied with the zip and the fit of the dress, I'm going to go ahead and fold the hem by 1.5 inches and sew just to finish off. It was tricky stitching the leather though. I suggest you just take your time doing this to ensure that it comes out really nice. So this is the finished skirt. It came out quite edgy, I have to say. I like the contrast between the leather and the anchor in terms of color and texture. It just looks really cool, and I love the way I styled it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I hope you recreate it in your own spare time. If you do, don't forget to tag me on social media at Priscilla Opan or at Kim Dave Designs. But until my next video, keep being awesome and creative. Bye.